Welcome to our in-depth exploration of housing valuation methods in finance. In this video, we'll embark on a journey through three fundamental techniques utilized by investors and analysts to decipher the intricate value of residential properties: the direct comparison method, the income method, and the discounted cash flow method. Let's immerse ourselves in the realm of the direct comparison method. This meticulously crafted approach involves a thorough examination of the property in question, alongside similar properties that have recently transacted within the same geographical area. Which simply means that buyers won't pay more for a property than they would for a similar one. Analysts carefully study factors like location, size, condition, and amenities to gauge the property's true worth compared to others in the market. The sales comparison method, also known as the market approach, is a fundamental technique in real estate valuation used to determine the fair market value of a property. Imagine you're in a marketplace, trying to determine the value of a particular item you wish to sell. You'd naturally look around to see what similar items are being sold for, right? That's essentially how the sales comparison method works in real estate. Before using the sales comparison method, it's important to make sure that the properties you're comparing are similar in size, location, and features. If they are, then you can go ahead with this method. To start, find out the average price per square meter of similar properties in the area. You do this by looking at recently sold properties that are like yours. Once you have this average price per square meter, you can use it to estimate the value of your property. Here's how. Multiply the average price per square meter by the total square meters of your property. This calculation gives you an idea of how much your property might be worth based on what similar properties have sold for. Remember, this method helps give you an estimate, but it's important to consider other factors too, like the condition of your property and any unique features it might have. Let's start with an example. We're using the sales comparison method to determine the market value of a property. We found three similar homes that recently sold in the area. Number 1 is worth $300,000, number 2 is worth $320,000, and number 3 is worth $340,000. After adjusting for differences in features like size and amenities, we've calculated an average value of $320,000 for our subject property. To start, we'll introduce the income method, which comes into play when dealing with diverse properties, like those found in Amsterdam. The income method involves looking at two main things: the market value per square meter and the rent per square meter. We want to figure out how much money the property can make compared to how much it's worth. First, we find the yield. We do this by dividing the market value by the rent per square meter. This tells us how much return we can expect from the property. Next, we calculate the gross initial rent. This is done by multiplying the rent per square meter by the total number of square meters in the property. Finally, we multiply the yield by the gross initial rent. This gives us an idea of the potential income from the property based on its market value and rental income. By using the income method, we can better understand the financial performance of different properties, especially in areas like Amsterdam, where properties vary widely in size and features. So if we summarize this: market value per square meter. This is how much the property is worth for each square meter of space it has. Rent per square meter. This tells us how much money the property makes in rent for every square meter of space. Yield. This is a way to measure how good of an investment a property is. Gross initial rent. This is the total rent the property makes before any expenses are taken out. We find this by multiplying the rent per square meter by the total number of square meters in the property. Estimating potential income. By multiplying the yield by the gross initial rent, we can estimate how much money the property could make in total. So the income method helps us understand how valuable a property is as an investment by looking at how much rent it earns compared to its market value. It's especially useful in places like Amsterdam, where properties can be very different from each other. Let's work through an example. Suppose we have a commercial property with a gross rent per square meter of 200 euros. We also have the factor X, which is the yield and is 14.3. The market value per square meter of comparable properties in the area is 2860 euros. Now, if the property has an area of 100 square meters, we can calculate the total market value by multiplying the market value per square meter by the total number of square meters. So if the property has an area of 100 square meters, the total market value is 286,000 euros. The last method for valuing houses is called the discounted cash flow, or DCF method. It's a way to figure out how much a property is worth by looking at the money it's expected to make in the future. Here's how it works with an example. Let's say you want to buy a rental property. You estimate that you'll earn $1,000 per month in rent from it, but you also have to consider expenses like maintenance, taxes, and insurance, which add up to $300 per month. So, your net rental income is $700 per month, $1,000, $300. Now you want to figure out how much this income is worth over time. You decide to hold on to the property for 10 years. Using the DCF method, you can calculate the present value of this future income. This means you figure out how much the $700 per month is worth today, considering that you could invest that money and earn interest on it. Let's say you expect to earn a 5% annual return on your investments. Using this rate, you calculate the present value of the $700 per month income for 10 years. After doing the math, you find out that the present value of the future income is around $84,000. This means that, based on your expected rental income and the interest you could earn on that money, the property is worth approximately $84,000 to you. So, the DCF method helps you determine the value of a property by looking at the money it's expected to generate in the future, and then figuring out how much that future income is worth today. It's a useful tool for investors to make informed decisions about buying or selling properties. We hope these insights have helped you gain a better understanding of how houses are appraised in the factors involved. Whether you're a buyer, seller, or investor, understanding can assist you in making informed decisions in the real estate market. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more helpful tips and information on real estate. Until next time.